Great game. Seahawks. You kind of ruined everyone's day, but I guess you're there. Here we go. Player of the day. Let's go. It's the Week 18 NFL Sunday recap.
On Pittsburgh and Cleveland, Miami and the Jets were underway as New England decided to defer after winning the toss. And here's Hines on the run back, breaking a tackle and taking it past midfield. And down the sideline he goes. This is storybook. An opening kickoff return for Damar Hamlin. And this place is absolutely going wild.
Caught by Ramsey as a flag. Oh, DK, get out of there.
And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Final NFL. Like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. We have the Week 18 NFL Sunday recap. Final one of the season where I have to do this many games. Obviously, we got the playoffs coming up. Whole playoff picture's ready. I'll get to it at the end of the video. But for now, you're gonna have to watch me go through the injuries because this is very important. John Ridgway's shoulder is questionable to start of training camp, so it is a pretty serious shoulder injury. All these other guys are in IR; they'll be ready for the rest of the season. Yeah, a ton of guys on IR. But for Kalia Davis, if you didn't know Kalia Davis, he's basically questionable for the game against the Seahawks, who they're going to be playing. Yeah, I know. Isaiah Dunn expected to return from IR for the Seahawks. Jordan Brooks is still on IR, not good for them. Nothing really much for the Seahawks. Maybe they have some guys healthy up with Sean Bradley and Janarius Robinson. Rushies for the Rams is questionable starting training camp. Same with Titus Secchi. Both those guys are hurt. Probably be fine though. And Nick Scott's also on IR. Let's see. Chiefs, Frank Clark questionable for divisional. That's not great there. Obviously, we already know they clinched. Keep going up. Stanley Thomas Oliver injury reserve. I guess that's what you got there. Josh Jones is questionable for the start of training camp. Now we go to today. Andrew Norwell is questionable for the start of training camp. Same thing with James Williams, Ron Robinson Jr., Cornelius Lucas, Cameron Curl, and of course Josh Allen. He had a pretty bad Jonathan Allen, pretty bad knee injury to say the least last week. As well, Vita Vea is questionable for the wild card. Same thing with Logan Ryan and Donovan Smith. Ryan Jensen is expected to return this week, though, so that's good to see. Probably won't, though. A lot of guys who are injured for the Bucs. That's not good to see, but of course they play on Monday night. A.B. Thomas is questionable. Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo was out for the wild card game. Nothing really much for the Seahawks. Obviously, we look today. A lot of questionables. Josh Sweat, Lane Johnson, Devontae Maddox, all questionable for the divisional playoff game. PUP for Brett Talk still. Joshua Zudu is on IR and is expected to return for that wild card game. Obviously, there's 4 other games as well. Players that are as well there. As we keep going up, I mean, the Dolphins, they're just an absolute freaking mess. That's just me. Tua is questionable, obviously, for the wild card. Trey Flowers is expected to return, though. That's good for them there. Good pass rush depth. Aaron Donald probably will retire, in my opinion, but you never know. I mean, Mike Williams is questionable for Saturday night. That's not good. And, of course, Kenneth Murray and Xander Horvath also questionable. Sky Moore, McCall Hardman, both questionable for their divisional playoff game. Packers might have 2 guys on IR. Jeff Okudah is questionable for starting training camp. Same thing with Coyote, Oswika, and same thing with Michael Brockers. And Cleve Raymond keep going up. A lot of questions for training camp. Jenner Wills is questionable for starting training camp. But we do have Alex Cabell, who is it went bad. He's questionable, so we might not see him in the wild card game, of course, on Sunday night. Keep going up. Bills, Jameson Crowder, and G. Kumar are both expected to return. Probably not going to get really any stats. I mean, Jameson Crowder probably will, but if they have John Brown now, he has much better rapport than Jameson Crowder. I like Jameson Crowder. He's actually decent slot, but, like, he's just not as valuable as a guy like John Ross is, in my opinion. We'll get to him later, though. Lamar's questionable, obviously, with that PCL. He has not played since Week 13. Has a practice since after that game. And there's a lot of guys for the Cardinals who are questionable for training camp. Of course, they are a mess. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy the final, yeah, it's the Week 18, post Week 18 NFL Sunday injury report. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Time for the first game. Here are the highlights from our first game, Ravens-Bengals. Here we go.
The Bengals, their terrific season so far. You begin with their wonderful quarterback, Joe Burrow.
And he has been outstanding this season. I think he's putting up MVP type of numbers when you look at what he's been able to accomplish. Started off the season having an appendectomy before the season got rolling, and with a revamped offensive line, he's been able to put up some big numbers.
Adeniji at the right tackle. Look out. He got away from Oweh. Dancing his way. Look at the footwork. Look at the drive. Being chased by Urban. Oh, my goodness. And 3-0 Bengals. Continuing to progress. Edwards in the backfield. Anthony Brown goes intercepted. It's picked off on the play. 48, first and goal. Mixon. Sledgehammering his way. No signal yet. Touchdown. 3rd and 5. Crumbling pocket. It's picked off. Mike Hilton has just dragged it from Robinson. Williams the block at the left tackle. To the end zone. Chase. Touchdown. Moses a block and a touchdown. 4-yard touchdown burst. Kenyon Drake takes it in. Anthony Brown. Look out! Hendrickson. Ball's loose. It is. Reader got it. Vacuums it in. Touchdown. Since his rookie season, and he gets that to go on a 26-yarder. Adeniji the block at the right tackle, and underneath he goes to Mixon. And Mixon got a great block from Higgins. And now he's off to the races. He's chasing the play by Evan McPherson. Minimal wind. Tack on 3 more. 20 straight. Make it 17. And he got caught on the play. Watkins has it, and he's off to the races. Goal to tie it up. Tucker from 27. Nails it. Bengals next week in the playoffs. 1st and 10. It's Watkins again. And there he goes with another big game. Grabbed by Bates.
Bengals built some momentum and avoided a coin flip with the Ravens. Obviously, they're going to play the Ravens next week, second straight week. But they dominate their backup, 27-16 win for them. Anthony Brown, I like the fact that he kept pushing the ball downfield. He was actually pretty accurate on it. But overall, he did what you expect from a third-string quarterback. 19 of 44 and 2 interceptions. 286 yards. A lot of that was garbage time. This game was a pretty big blow. I don't think the running game did him any favors, though. The fact that he didn't run the ball surprised me. At Oregon, he was never really the type of guy to be very efficient. He could throw downfield, though. I'll give him that. But yeah, he was able to show that. But he did what you expected from him. I mean, Isaiah Likely, the leading receiver, really just garbage time. I like what I saw from Sammy Watkins and DeMarcus Robinson. Those guys could definitely get some big plays in the playoffs. Roquan Smith had 12 tackles. I mean, he was literally their whole entire run defense. They kind of collapsed other than that. David Ojabo did have his first career sack, though. Great for him there. Chuck Clark stunked it up. He got burned a couple times in coverage. Marlon Humphrey, I do think, played pretty well, though. Kyle Hamilton kept doing what he was doing in the run game. Justin Tucker had 3 field goals as well. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow didn't have to do anything. 25-42 on 215 and a touchdown, of course, to Jamar Chase, who had 8 for 86. And they didn't run the ball well. I mean, we didn't expect them to because, again, Roquan Smith is one of the best linebackers in football, and he proved it over time. Eli Apple, 6 tackles, okay. He didn't really have to do much. Jesse Bates and Mike Owen both had interceptions, though. Trey Henderson had 2 sacks. Joseph Osai had a sack, and B.J. Hill also had a sack. They got a ton of pressure, of course, a scoop and score in the end zone there as well. They played a really good freaking football game. And McPherson also made 2 field goals. Stats-wise, I mean, a lot of garbage time yards for the Ravens. Again, the Bengals offense didn't have to do anything, considering the 4-to-1 turnover ratio and the 4-to-2 sack ratio as well. Bengals also had the ball surprisingly longer. They had really, really efficient game. I like what I saw from them. They do that again this week, next week. They will win the Sunday nighter. It'll probably be a repeat from this. Unless Lamar shows up. We'll see, though. That's all I got for this one, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the week this one. Let's get right to the keys to getting ready for both these teams. And what I wanted to see from this Ravens offense was to get some big plays. They were able to do that, but they couldn't score 30-plus points. Not surprised because they turned over the ball 4 times, and they did turn over the ball 4 times, which is really the reason they lost. You can't win a football game with your third-string quarterback if you turn it over 4 times. I think that's all I got to say. I'll give them 5 minuses. They were able to move the football in garbage time, though, so I guess that's something. For the Ravens defense, now let Joe throw the 30-yard fader out on the sideline. He did, and you got burned on it. And no creases for Joe Mixon. They did that, definitely. Overall, their defense didn't actually play super bad. They limited a lot of the yardage. I'll honestly give them a minus, but it wasn't one of their best games, to say the least. Time for the Bengals. Let's talk about this Bengals offense. Stop trying to push the ball downfield on 3rd down. They didn't try to. They just kept it underneath. Take checkdowns or throwing intermediate levels. Their intermediate passing game was one of the reasons they won this game, in my opinion. Offensively, they just did their job. 2 pluses, nothing much else to say. Bengals defense, if you fit the run, they were able to. That doesn't matter after that. They just forced turnovers as well. For this defense, I'll give them 6 pluses. One of their better games of the year. Good job, Bengals. You blow out the Ravens. Clinch that 3 seed. Avoid a coin flip. See you in the wild card round. Let's go Browns Steelers.
To the run game, really getting Najee Harris to play his best. He's coming off his best game of the season. 22 carries, 111 yards, and then the game-winning reception.
Pickett running out of time, escapes one tackler, throws on the run, finds his man, 20, 15, Deontay Johnson looking for the end zone, and comes up shot, airborne, lost the football, covered by the Cleveland Browns, it would appear, with the ball, now throws inside the 5 to the end zone, Pickett down the middle, down his man for the touchdown, George Pickens, with time, throwing, intercepted. On its way, straight enough, long enough, 34 yards, and that is good. His second field goal of the day. Intercepted! DeMonte KZ, Harris to the end zone, touchdown, Pittsburgh. Watson, lots of time, running out of time now, I'm going to run it. Throws this side, touchdown, Chubb, the lob to the back of the end zone, and it is caught by Deontay Johnson.
And in Pittsburgh, the Steelers kept their playoff hopes alive, 28-14 win over the Browns. I'm not going to get to if they made it or not. I'll talk about that once we get to another game, but yeah. Steelers 28-14, good game for them. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he scrambled a lot. It didn't really work out, though, because he did throw 2 interceptions, but he did throw 3 touchdowns, so I guess that's okay. Did play his best game, though. Browns did not finish the season strong, 19 of 28 in 230 yards. They ran the ball well, I guess that's what you can say there. I mean, Deshaun ran the ball for 44 yards as well. But they definitely needed to run the ball more with 3-1, and Nick Chubb probably should have got at least 5 more carries. Amari Cooper really was inconsistent in terms of the touch count or rhythm or anything, but 251. Nick Chubb 545 touchdowns. They did give him the ball in other ways, which was good to see. I think that's how their offense is going to work in the future. Trying to keep Nick Chubb at a decent workload, but don't want to overwhelm him. Obviously, don't want him to get hurt. Devin Jones 442 touchdown, probably the best player in this game. Really good, actually. Did a nice job blocking. Same thing with Harrison Bryant. And other people's Jones also had 2 for 42. Defensively, Deion Jones had 5 tackles. Didn't really do much in terms of anything, but he did have 5 tackles. Good for him. Myles Garrett 3-4 and a sack. I mean, decent. 3 tackles and a sack is not a bad game at all. But this defense did not live up to what we'd expect. For the Steelers, Kenny Pickett was really good. 13 of 29, 195 touchdown. He had like 5 throwaways. He was getting pressured a lot. I think he played a pretty decent game, though. They can't run the ball for their life. I mean, Jalen Warren is a lot better than Najee Harris in terms of the explosiveness behind that offensive line. But you get him a guy, get some space for Najee, he will get yards. George Pickens, of course, 3 for 72 touchdown. All his catches were big plays. Connor Hayward also 3 for 45. Deontay Johnson 2 for 38. He also got in the end zone for the first time. Just had a 2-point conversion. Alex Smith had 2.5 sacks. From Hayward had 2 sacks. Troy Edmonds had a sack. They had like 6 sacks, I think, something ridiculous. And they also had 2 interceptions. They had a pretty good day defensively. Now looking at the stats, I mean, pretty even in terms of the yardage, but look at the difference. 7-1 sacks, really the difference, and 2-1 turnover, you could say, but I definitely would say the sacks are the big difference in this one. In the third down efficiency, if you want to really sugarcoat it. Let's get right to the keys of the game here for both these teams. Browns offense, Nick Chubb was screen bunt, did not have over 200 yards, and they did not score 3 plus touchdowns in the second half. Offensively, Deshaun passed up on a lot of open receivers. It was a little frustrating. But I like what they were doing in the run game. I guess that's all you can really say. 14 points is not a good outing, though. I'll have to give them 3 minuses. For this defense to make Najee beat you at the line, yup, they did. And give Kenny the long and short throws. Yeah, they did. He did hit a couple of them, though. Defensively, they just gave up way too many easy throws to Kenny Pickett. I'm not talking about the long ones, because they gave him those for sure. But some of the other ones, I'm like, you can't give them that, and they did. Really, there wasn't really a good medium there. I won't say their defense played a bad game, though. I will give them an underscore. I actually think it was a pretty decent game by them. And for the Steelers offense, Kenny did not throw for over 300, but Najee definitely got 20 plus touches. I think that did help him in the end. Offensively, I actually don't think it was a good game. I'll actually probably, I'll give them a plus. They had a decent game. Defensively, rely on the edge rushers to cover the coveted C gap. I don't think I spelled that right, but whatever. But Robert Swine and Miles Jack worked the big guys, blah, blah, blah. They just stopped. They didn't really stop the run. The fact they got after Deshaun, though, really worked. That's all I got there. 4 pluses. Okay, time for the tank bowl. Let's go!
But it has been futile, to say the least. Remember, they hired Lovie Smith in early February. It was a hire that raised some eyebrows, a holdover from David Culley's staff, and with the exception of a unbelievable start there. Here's Mills on 2nd and 8. Fires back in the end zone. It is caught. Brandon Cooks. Kick returner, week 12. He leads the league in average return yards. Football is loose. Who's got it? The Texans do. At coaching position. As Fairbairn's kick. Ellinger under center. And they go to the ground game. This is Zach Moss. Shot out of a cannon. Moss taking no prisoners. NFL Ellinger sold the fake well. Wide open is Pittman. For the football is loose. Colts have it. Julian Blackman on the recovery. Somehow escaped. That pass is picked off. Intercepted. Jonathan Grenard in for the pick 6. Again, Ellinger feels the pressure at his feet. Just barely gets it off, and it's picked off. Never got it out cleanly. Ellinger again feeling duress. Somehow gets it out to Campbell. Incredible. Ellinger to the end zone. Deflected twice and incomplete. Moss still on his feet. And he is in. Touchdown. Was protected towards the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. It's Akins. Quarter. Mills slinging it, and it's picked off. Intercepted. Rodney McLeod extends. Touchdown. Lease in traffic, and that's picked. This time it's Rodney Thomas. Looking in his direction. Slinging it, caught. Moelle Cox. A lead. Good snap. Yes, good hold. And McLaughlin. Colts playing their ultra prevent defense on 4th and 20. Mills buying some time. Fires towards the end zone, and it is caught. Oh my! Then it's Akins on a 28-yard touchdown.
He just mistimes his jump. And
Mills to the end zone. It's caught. Akins, and the Houston Texans have retaken the lead.
And from Indy, the Colts stole the Texans' #1 pick. That's what I got there. Yeah, the Bears did lose. I'll just say that. But Texans 3-13-1. They miracle win. Obviously, very entertaining game. 32-31 over the Colts. Colts, they're really freaking bad. There's no other way to say it. They're like an awful team. Davis Mills, though, 22 of 38, 298, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He really actually didn't play that good at all. He was really freaking bad when it came to like any of his reads. He stared down more receivers than I could even count, and I can count pretty high. But yeah, it was pretty bad. But I mean, in the end, he kind of won the game. They couldn't run the ball for their life. The other team could. I mean, this looked like a tank ball, to say the least. A lot of sloppy turnovers, but again, it's high scoring. Brandon Cooks, that might have been his first 100-yard game of the season. I really don't know. Tegan Quintariano will be one of the starting tight ends next year. Really don't know. Jordan Akins did have 2 touchdowns, though. He's not really much of a threat in the receiving game, but I mean, he did have 2 touchdowns in this one. Jalen Petrie had 7 tackles. I mean, yeah, he did, but he didn't really cover anyone. Christian Kirksey did have an interception. I think Jonathan Gurner might have had the pick 6, but it was a crazy game. Malik Collins and Christian Harris both had sacks as well. Surprising that Christian Harris had one, though. Clyde Fairbairn has hit a 37-yarder as well. For the Colts, Sam Ellinger was actually pretty awful again. Same thing with Davis Mills, except he made throws under pressure. 23 of 35, 290 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He got pressured maybe 15 times. He got pressured a lot, though. The good news is they had a couple of really long runs that really helped him out. That's why they had all this, and I will say this. Jeff Saturday did get on to something with that fly motion offense. I like what I saw there. But when Deion Jackson's the leading receiver, kind of tells you what type of game it was. That's all I got there. Michael Pittman Jr. also had a touchdown on 3 catches, and Moelle Cox had a touchdown as well. Julian Blackman, 6 tackles. He didn't do anything. 6 tackles. Good for him. Zach Franklin, 5 in his sack. He actually played pretty well in coverage. Rodney McLeod had an interception and 4 tackles. I think Rodney Thomas might have had the interception, whatever. Colts end the season on, what is it now? A 7-game losing streak. Pretty bad. But both teams had a lot of yards, though, because, again, both these defenses suck. The Colts almost had 200 rushing yards. 3-to-3 turnover ratio, again, pretty awful. Both offensive lines were really bad as well. As we expected, two terrible teams play. This is kind of what the third score you're going to get. And for this Texans offense, they were productive when Jeff Driscoll was on the field. They were kind of an erratic game. Overall, honestly, give them a plus, though, because pretty consistently, they're able to either move the ball forwards or backwards, which I guess works. Defensively, they sucked. I mean, they were awful. You know what? I'll give their offense a minus, too. You know, I'll give them 2 minuses. Their offense was not good. Defensively, they were pretty awful, though. I'll give them 5. You know, I'll give them 4 minuses because of their pick 6. Again, both teams sucked in this one. Time for the Colts. So for this Colts offense, I actually think, again, they ran the ball really well behind Quentin Nelson, who actually had by far his best game of the season. Yeah, even in pass protection, it looked like it was him and everyone else. I'm not even kidding, he actually played well. They did actually score early as well, but they ran the ball as well, but one of the problem, they turned it over like 4 times. No, 3 times. It was pretty ridiculous. So I had them 2 minuses offensively. I don't think they played that bad though. Defensively, I mean, what the hell was that? That was pretty awful. The end, 5 minuses. I mean, Rodney Thomas should get cut. Like, that's all I got for this Tank Bowl. Yeah, Texans, you sold. Time for probably what was the worst game of the night, no joke. Like, this game was not good.
When we return, a moment of support for Buffalo Bills safety, Damar Hamlin.
As Cousins was about to get hit, fires wide open, KJ Osborne. Osborne inside the 10, forced out of bounds. Cousins, end zone, touchdown, Adam Thielen. Toss, it's Cook. Oh, fumble. And the Bears. Peterman over the middle. It's caught by Pettis. He's close. 2nd and goal. Madison. He's in for a Vikings touchdown. Boyle under pressure. Oh, boy. And this pass is picked off. Patrick Peterson. 34th interception. Kick is good. They get it into the hands of Velus Jones. And Jones keeps going. Oh. They get the snap away. Wow. And the kick.
Line was much lower and won that battle.
On 3rd down, Madison in. Finds his tight end, Komet.
Oh, he gets in.
Takes it. Joseph from 50. This pass is picked off. Greg Stroman from the left hash. Kick is good.
And they're winning that game.
Boyle on 4th down, and Duke Shelley.
We called it.
Comes up with.
And yep, the Vikings take care of business. Yeah, they didn't really matter. They kind of got a shot at getting the 2 seed. Well, probably not gonna get it. I'll just say that. But yeah, the Vikings, they won. That's what I got there. They did win. Bears clinched #1 seed though. Worst record in the NFL. Finished season on 13, losing 13 out of their last 14, and what was it now? 10 straight. Pretty freaking bad if you ask me. Kirk Cousins was really good. Nick Mullins was not very good, but he was pretty accurate. The running game wasn't good, but honestly, it was pretty decent. It was pretty serviceable if you ask me. KJ Osborne had 1 big catch. Really, that's about it. Justin Jefferson did not hit the record at all. He didn't even hit Cooper Kupp's number. I'm kind of surprised there. But yeah, he's going to want to do stuff in the playoffs. Adam Thielen had a touchdown as well. Defensively, I mean, Patrick Jones had a sack. 2 interceptions by Pat Pete and Duke Shelley. They got the job definitely done defensively. For the Bears, Tim Boyle was god-awful. Nate Peterman was just, like, average. Yeah. That's how I'll describe it. Surprise there. Velus Jones had a nice touchdown. That was really their whole offense, though. Khalil Herbert, pretty decent. David Montgomery, he needs a better offensive line. Again, some of these running backs just need good offensive lines. And then they're one of the best running backs in the league. Guys like Khalil Herbert can create anywhere because, again, they're just really good. And just the fact they're not as patient as guys like David Montgomery. But Cole Kmet, 4 for 57, a touchdown. I mean, okay, yeah, whatever. Velus Jones Jr., again, he was their whole offense in terms of big plays. But Joe Thomas did have 10 tackles. Harrison Tan had 9. Nicholas Moreau had 7. They were on the field a lot in this game. It felt like Drake Storman did have an interception as well. I didn't say this defense actually played super bad. I mean, again, they were on the field for like 37 minutes, but it doesn't matter in the end. They still lost. 2-2 turnover ratio. Honestly, neither team was really that good on third down, even though it says 2-9, 6-11. The Vikings convert. I think it was like the first 5 they converted, but after that they kind of stunk it up. And for the Bears, I mean, they're just not a good offense. They're the worst team in the NFL right now. Vikings beat the Bears. Yeah, that's kind of all I got. And for this Vikings offense, I said Kirk has to move his eyes. He did move his eyes. Offensively, again, they got a plus. They didn't run the ball well. They got big plays, though. Vikings defense don't give up more than 2 10-yard runs. Yup. Pray to God no one blows out a knee. No one did blow out a knee, so I guess that is good. I'll give them a plus defensively as well. Bears offense. They did dent the defense. They did use play action. They did not get good field position, though. Probably the reason they lost this game. Again, they're just horrible. That's all you really got to say there. I mean, I like their big plays, so I will give them 2 minuses, but I don't think it was that bad. Bears defense, yeah, that is kind of what I got there. Their defense, I shouldn't even play that bad. I'll actually honestly give them an underscore. Okay. Time for a meaningless game. Let's go.
Playoffs are right around the corner. We got the final finish here in the regular season as the back-to-back NFC South champion. From Dean Pease, Brady lofts it for the end zone, and it is the 50th touchdown of Kyle Rudolph's career. Fake it to Algier. Ritter rolling. Ritter floats it. It is caught for his first NFL touchdown. Younghoe Koo from 49 hit the game winner at the Horn against Arizona last week and continues to be rock solid these teams in back-to-back weeks. It was Koo last week. It was Suck Up 2 weeks ago. His hands, and the Bucs will take it away. It belongs to Devin White. Just completely slipped out of the hand of Ritter. And it is hauled in for the touchdown by Gage, who made 24-yarder for Younghoe Koo. And it's a wide-open Olamide Zaccheaus for the touchdown. And the Falcons jump out in front late in the third. Ritter launches, got a man. It's London. It's a big gainer inside the 40 of Tampa Bay. Patterson, he walks in. It's a touchdown for Atlanta.
Those type of guys get rewarded, given the opportunities.
And the Bucs get beat up by the Falcons as they go to 7-10 for the second straight year under Arthur Smith. I think it's a little encouraging. Obviously, Tom Brady, when he was on the field, he took 4 balls over 5 yards. All his throws were underneath. It was kind of sad to see. They didn't throw the ball well with anyone else. So yeah, Blake Gabbert did have enough nice touchdown off a turnover. That was kind of it though. They actually ran the ball better than I thought they would. They started to run it well though. Chris Godwin, leading receiver, kind of tells you what type of game this was. I don't think Mike Evans even played. Russell Gage and Kyle Rudolph both touchdowns though. Defensively, I mean, Akeem Hicks did have a sack. They were pretty decent against the run, but they could not get after the quarterback. I think that was a big problem. You can't have Antoine Jr. getting 10 tackles as well. All right, so also for the field goal. So the Falcons, Desmond Ritter, really there's nothing to complain about. 1930, 224, 2 touchdowns. But Tyler Algier, this dude is a monster. This guy can run. That's all I got there. Hard-nosed runner. I saw him at BYU with Jaron Hall, who we will be doing a lot on. I'll only put it this way. That's the guy that's gone right now. But whatever. Cordell Patterson, he did have a touchdown. Not surprised there. I was a little surprised he didn't get more targets. He got 3, I think. But whatever. Greg Glennon, 6 for 120. Olamide Zaccheaus, 437 touchdown. And Michael Pruitt, 3 for 34. He also had a touchdown. Defensively, I mean, yeah. That's what you get. There's really nothing to say. They fit the run well. They played really nice zone. That's all I got there. For the Falcons, I mean, yeah, 232 yards. They were just simply better in this one. There's really nothing else to say as expected. 1-to-1 turnover ratio, though. The Bucs didn't do crap. I mean, yeah, kind of what you get here. If this Bucs offense, I said, screw the Falcons for taking possessions. No, they didn't. Again, they didn't really have to try. So, but they were not good when Tom Brady was on the field, to be honest. So, offensively, I don't know, 2 minuses. Bucs defense, they did make Desmond throw the right side of the pocket. He airmailed a couple of throws. Didn't really hurt him in the end, though. I will tell you this, though. The Bucs defense did do what I asked them to. So I guess that's what you get. They just could not stop the run. So I will give them 3 minuses. Bucs kind of a stinker in the last game of the regular season. Now for this Falcons offense, consistent run game, yup, and they did get the ball to Cardinals Patterson that much, but they did get him the ball, so I guess that's what you get there. Offensively, though, 5+ was one of their best overall games. Defensively, they didn't keep them under 20. They did really just did that, and that's kind of what I expected from them to do. They were really stingy in terms of tackling. I'll give them 3+. That's all I got there, guys. Time for a really boring game, and I honestly think if it was a meaningful game, I'd be on the edge of my seat.
Man, just take the time to look to your left and right, man. Just take the time to look to your left and right. Today is about your brothers, man.
That's it.
Today is about your family, man. This is the last time this year.
Andy Dalton has hit 3 separate targets. This is a repeat, and it's the right guy. Olave, touchdown. Formation is an extra lineman. And Kamara is stuffed. This is good. With a $1.24 to go in the season for the lead for Lutz. That came out wildly, and it's on first down, a throw down the field, intercepted. The position, the ball's on the ground and picked up again. Darnold does. The ball came out. Now was he over the goal side? Olave lost the football, and it came right into the arms of Woods. And Darnold goes deeper than that. It is intercepted.
And in New Orleans on yesterday, the Panthers get a meaningless win, 10-7. Sam Darnold was just god awful. He did this. I think he played like this last year when they played him. It was pretty bad. Scored the same amount of points. But their defense was absolutely elite. After the first drive, they didn't give up a point. That's all you got. Amari Barno had a sack. Josh Norman was really good. He had 6 tackles. I actually think defensively they played a really good game. They didn't really give much up at all. Like the Saints offense, don't let me get you wrong. They like really struggled to move the freaking football. But when they did move the football, then it wasn't big plays. It was long drives. Chris Olave again another only touchdown. Alvin Kamara, had 107 yards and 4.7 yards per carry. He like 3 20-yard carries though. It wasn't any like consistent. Yeah, it was pretty erratic with him. Defensively though, Tyrann Mathieu and Daniel Sorensen had interceptions. I mean, both these defenses played really well. Will Lutz though choked. He missed 2 field goals, forced the go-ahead shank. That might have got tipped though. I'll be honest there. 32 pass yards, tell you what type of game this was. 2-to-1 turnover ratio as well. The Panthers offense was absolutely abysmal in this one. But I will tell you this though. This game pounded my chest. I liked what I saw in this one. Obviously it was 10-7, pretty awful game, but hey, it was cool to see. Joyce Lai had the game winner as well. Panthers offense, you could argue that's their worst game of the season because Jesus, they were so bad. 8 minuses. You don't give them 7 because they didn't sell as hard as I thought they would. Defensively, I mean, they were not good against the run, but don't get me this wrong. Yeah, they kind of got built a couple times. I was looking for 6+ though because they only gave 7 points, and after the first drive, they didn't give up 1. Time for the Saints. And offensively for the Saints, again, they did score 7 points in their first drive. That's literally all they did. They did use the run game to their advantage, but again, they choked when I got to the other side of the field. It's like they got a vice around them. It was really weird. Offensively, though, honestly, I'll give them 6 minuses. The first drive was really good. After that, they at least stunk it up. Defensively, big plays defensively for big plays against it. Yeah, they didn't really get. They actually did get big plays. But defensively, again, they actually played really well. I mean, when you only give 10 points, you can't really complain. I'll give them 6+ as well. Other than the last drive, they were really, really good. Time for the first national game. Here we go, Jets Dolphins for the playoffs. I'll just say that for now.
This time we direct your attention to the field. Holding the American field flag are Miami Dolphins season ticket members. And presenting today's colors are members of the G. Holmes Braddock.
Now extends the play. Skylar Thompson throws and finds Tyreek Hill. Smythe making the catch. Boy, looked across the field. 44 makes from 50+. Hooks wide. Points of the day on a Jason Sanders field goal. Since he made the first one, he will make this one as well. And the Dolphins tied at 6. Throws a wobbler that comes down to Gesicki. He pulls it in. Wilson again, but incomplete with a flag. Who got stopped by Quincy Williams. Flags fly on the tackle. Hey, down the middle with distance. Dolphins take the lead with 18 seconds. Dolphins need 1 tackle to get to the playoffs. It's loose, and that'll do the trick.
And from Miami, the Dolphins, they went 11-6 in an ugly football game. We'll get to the Patriots and talk about if the Dolphins made the playoffs or not next. But yeah, Jets fall 7-10, losers 6-3. They've had a disastrous second half. Dolphins kind of the same thing, but they somehow salvaged it. Joe Flacco was pretty average, nothing to say there. They could not run the ball for their life. I don't think they even had one run over 2 yards. It was pretty bad. No, they probably had 1 or 2, but whatever. Garrett Wilson, I mean, he was literally the only guy in this whole entire game that, like, was remotely decent offensively. 9 for 89. Quincy Williams on 9 tackles, that sack. This defense is really good. I hope they can be this good next year because this was a wasted year for sure. Greg Dorland did miss a field goal, probably the reason they lost. For the Dolphins, Skylar Thompson was pretty darn awful. They ran the ball well, though. That was good to see. All of it was out of shotgun, too. They didn't run for crap underneath, under center. I mean, yeah, Mike Gesicki caught a bomb. Giovanni, of course, had that horse collar. So that's really all I got. Tyreek Hill got injured as well. Javon Holland, 5 tackles. Christian Wilkins, 5 tackles. Duke Riley, 5 tackles. 4 tackles, my bad. They just did what they're supposed to. Limit any big plays and don't give up crap in the running game. Exactly what they're supposed to. Jason Sanders had 3 field goals as well. Did exactly the same thing they did last time. But yeah, for the Dolphins, total yards, pretty even. I mean, no, I'm joking. They had a lot more total yards. But they had the ball longer and they didn't go. And they were actually probably a little better up front. But I honestly think the Jets played a little cleaner of a football game. Just the fact that the Dolphins kind of got the ball in the end, kind of won them the game. And what I wanted to see from this Jets offense was command the pre-snap. They didn't do any of that, and they did try to run the ball, though. I like to see that. Offensively, their offensive line just isn't good enough right now. They weren't able to really run anything. It was really a disappointing way to end the season. But to be fair, Joe Flacco's a statue. That doesn't help either. Offensively, I'll have to give them 5 minuses. They didn't turn over the football, though, so they didn't, like, lose them the game. Defensively, stay off the field. They did not kind of. I don't think they were really that good at all, but, I mean, my bad. Their defense played pretty well overall, but I don't think it was, like, Jesus. I'll still give them 4 pluses, though. And for this Dolphins offense, run the ball a lot in shotgun. Yup, RPOs they did, but, Skylar did not take any. Well, he took 1, but it was kind of a duck. I would have made that throw. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, Skylar Thompson kind of did step up in the end, being completely honest. But, they did run the ball well. Honestly, offensively, they had only 11 points, but you kind of got to expect that with the type of quarterback you got. I'll give them an underscore. Defensively, I mean, yeah, it was against, I don't care, it was against Joe Flacco and a bunch of bums. Except Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis. But Xavier Howard did shut down Corey Davis. One of the reasons they won. Jalen Phillips did get pressure. Would have I liked to see this defense be a little more aggressive? Yeah, for sure. But they did definitely win this game for them. I will give them 3 pluses.
Sunday in Week 18 as New England, the last Sunday of the regular season. What's at stake? New England with a win makes the playoffs. Can also get in with a loss as long as New England decided to defer after winning the toss. And here's Hines on the run back, breaking a tackle and taking it past midfield. And down the sideline he goes. This is storybook. Fake again, play action, back of the end zone. Myers, did he get the second foot down? I'm sure he did. This is close. Looking for another option. There it is. Touchdown to Dawson Knox. He's looking at him. Fake to him and then throw it inside. 2nd and goal. Back of the end zone. Wide open. Seal it for long enough. Pass. Oh, he got hit when he threw it. And he's intercepted. It's McCourty with his 35th career interception. Difficult time. Fake it and then throw it. And it's intercepted at the 1-yard line. Who is now with that kick, made 60 consecutive. And then here comes Hines again. Oh my goodness! Can he do it twice? Is this for real? Can you believe it? Even a little Dion strut. Oh, he got away from Uche. Boy, is he quick. Allen on the run and open. John Brown. Oh my goodness, they call him smoke. Team that controls it at the moment. Wins. Jones to Parker, reaches up. What a catch! Touchdown. But they're looking for it now. And there it is. Bingo. Takes the shot. Pass too high and intercepted. It's Matt Milano. Jay trying to get to him. Josh right straddling the line of scrimmage, goes to the end zone. Oh, almost.
So the Patriots did not make the playoffs as the Dolphins did. They didn't play that bad in this game. They came into a tidal wave, and the Bills just, oh God, that was a stampede. They stampeded over the Patriots. 35-23 win. I mean, it wasn't perfect at all, but I mean, that was a great game to watch. Obviously, Nyhiem had 2 kickoff return touchdowns, 96 and 101 was great to see. Mac Jones, 26 of 42, 43, 3 touchdowns. I mean, I'd say honestly 2 of his interceptions weren't his fault. One of them was pretty bad, but didn't actually cost him the end. Damian Harris should be their starter, but he was not great. Ryan Stevenson did get bigger holes, so I'll be honest there. 9 yards per carry is pretty good, though. Devontae Parker was probably the biggest asset offensively in this one, 6 for 40, 77, 79, a touchdown. As well, Jacoby Myers did have a touchdown as well. Of course, great catch there. Offensively, they actually kind of kept up until the end. Defensively, I mean, there's really nothing else to say. Like, they kind of tried to do their best. They didn't get big plays, that's really all I could say, though. And Devin McCourty did have an interception. But again, their special teams was dog crap. For the Bills, Josh Allen wasn't perfect, but he did have 3 touchdowns. Did throw a pick, though. They didn't run the ball really at all, but it didn't really matter because, again, they were stampeding in this one. 19 of 31 for 254 for Josh Allen. Devontae 7 for 104 and a touchdown, and Chris John Brown caught the 42-yard bomb. And as well, Dawson Knox got a touchdown in the second quarter, my bad. Jordan Poyer had 7 tackles, Matt Milano 7 tackles, interception, Tremaine Edmonds, and Tre'Davious White both had interceptions as well. Defensively, pretty darn good game. Yeah, honestly, the Nyhiem had 235 kick return yards is pretty insane. For the stats, I mean, yeah, the Bills had more, the Patriots had more yards. They did have a ball hogger, to be fair there. 3-3 turnover ratio. Neither team was perfect at all, but again, those 2 kickoff return touchdowns, all for DeMar. That's all I got there, guys. Time for the keys to game for both these teams. Oh, yeah, the Bills do have the 2. This Patriots offense hung in there. I'll give them that. They were moving the football. They were really decisive what they wanted to do. They put in the run game. Really wasn't like it was just keep the Bills honest, but with all that momentum, they kind of kept themselves composed until the end. Again, they kind of just fell off. But offensively, I don't think it was a terrible game. I'll honestly give them a plus. Yeah, they kind of kept up, but against that Bills defense, they played pretty well. Defensively, don't give up 7 touchdowns in the first 7 drives like last time. They definitely didn't do that. They actually played a pretty good game overall, in my opinion. But again, those big plays killed them. I have to give them 3 minuses, pretty much the demise of their loss. Time for the Bills. Okay, Bills, honestly, offensively, they didn't have to be very good, and they weren't perfect. But I would like to say they did feed off their momentum. They did what they wanted. Plus, Bills defense, it's time for a shutout. They didn't get that for sure. Honestly, their defense got the ball moved on a lot. But again, they did force 3 turnovers. I will give them an underscore. They played okay for what you kind of expected. That's all I got for that going, guys. Of course, very, very emotional game. Definitely the best game of the day, in my opinion. Of course, honestly, probably the best play of the year there. Time for the Chargers and Broncos. Here are the highlights from that good game.
Chargers and Broncos, and the AFC playoff bracket is locked in. The Chargers are the 5 seed. They will go to Jacksonville. Touchdown! Keenan Allen! Second and goal. A pitch to Murray. Latavius Murray. Herbert fires. Touchdown! Gerald Everett.
For the next coming week.
4 catches, 72 yards. And then they lost the football. Eckler fumbles.
1 from 54, and I just said show off.
So the Eckler fumble.
Could handle it.
Out of the hold of J.K. Scott. The kick is good. Keeps the play alive. Throws deep down the field for Judy. He's got it. Inside the 5. Back on 1st and goal. Play fake. Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown. Wilson to Tyler Beatty, the rookie, in his first NFL game. Down the sideline. And he is in. The fence here, coupled with the winter weather, as Wilson is throwing deep on 1st down. He's got Judy down there. Judy's got it. Broncos start next season, but they thought it was worth that investment. And they continue to show they will spare no expense. That pass is picked off. Be a willing runner in that situation in this game, as Dicker's field goal from 36 is good. Herbert to Carter. Breaks a tackle. DeAndre Carter at the 20. Lost the football. And Kareem Jackson has it. Yeah, the last game of the year. Some other players are playing in their first NFL game, trying to match their moment. Look at this. Swain. He's got it. Wilson throwing. He's got a man. Touchdown. And a fair catch called. And he lost it. And the 2nd and goal. Daniel rolling right throws. He's got Keenan Allen for a touchdown. Chargers here. It's been a big day for Jerry Jeudy.
And in Denver, the Broncos finished their season out on a bang. 31-28 win over the Chargers, of course, avenging their Week 6 Monday Night Football loss. They played a lot better than anyone expected in this one. The Chargers actually played a pretty decent game overall. Defensively, they actually didn't play that bad. But the Broncos definitely showed that, they could be pretty decent last year. Justin Herbert, kind of had his way in terms of where he could throw it. Some of his throws, I'm like, why do you throw it there instead of somewhere else? But he 25, 37, 273, and 2 touchdowns. It was worth it for the Broncos, even though they stopped the run. Chase Daniel, kind of expected this 5-7, 25 yards and a touchdown. He came in. Keenan Allen, pretty big game. 8 for 102 touchdowns. Set the tone for that playoff game against the Jags. Of course, Mike Williams didn't really do a lot. I didn't expect him to. He definitely needs to have a big role next week, though. Jared Everett also had a touchdown. Sir Taylor was their leading tackler, and I mean, Gilman was there as well. Kyle Van Noy also had a sack, and Joey Bosa. Defensively, I actually like what I saw. Sebastian Joseph Day also had an interception. They contained a lot of the big plays, but Russell Wilson kind of made it happen. They also forced a turnover, so that was pretty decent. But Cameron Dicker had 2 field goals as well. Russ, by far his best game of the season, did have an interception and a fumble. I mean, not great, but his interception wasn't even that bad. He went 13 of 24, 283, 2 touchdowns. A lot of great deep balls. They ran the ball well, though. When they get Javonte Williams back next year, if he can recover well from that ACL surgery, I will expect him to be a huge part of this offense. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy, 5 for 154, career-high receiving yards. Great game for him. Cortland Sutton also had a touchdown, and same with Tyler Beatty. First career touchdown, and obviously Eric Thomas also had 1 as well. He's becoming a pretty good red zone threat for them. All right, Alex Singleton, Justin Simmons, 7 tackles. I really was surprised Justin Simmons was playing up. At the same time, not really, because they didn't really, in the same sense, not really. Consider Kareem Jackson is not the same guy he used to be in terms of the quickness, but whatever. Baron Browning also had a sack. Brandon McManus also had a field goal. Stats-wise, I mean, it was pretty offensive. The Broncos had a lot more yardage, though, overall. They had 205 rushing yards. You don't see that a lot. And obviously, Russ did run the ball for 18 yards and, as well. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 39, and Chase Edmonds, 45 yards as well. 2-2 turnover ratio, though, didn't help them. Of course, 2-1 sacks as well. Honestly, the Broncos, good win. Maybe next year, but yeah. For sure, they'll offseason need to get a better offensive line. I'm trying to kind of go through this. They need to get another receiver for Russ. I mean, I like what he's got there, but Jesus. He needs a really, really good one. I mean, I like Carson Sutton as a back-end number 1, but he's not your elite number 1. In this Chargers offense, they did not let Patrick Mahomes disrupt, and they did give Russ a chance late, and he did win the game. So offensively for the Chargers, honestly, they weren't great or bad. I'll actually give them a plus. But they definitely want to run the ball better. Chargers defense, watch for the red zone read. They're actually good on that. Let Russ step up and maneuver as long as you cover the crap downfield. They did for a little while, but then he just burned them. So defensively, did not like what I saw. 3 minuses. I changed that to a 5 now that I think about it. Now for this Broncos offense, though, continue to use Russ in the run game. They did. Get out to the pocket or use design / or scramble, yeah. What I like this offense, again, they were just really creative. A lot of free-flowing crap. That's what I like to see. Offensively, 4 pluses. No, I'll give them 5. They like turnovers, but they ran the ball really well. Defensively, Patrick did have a good day. Didn't really have to do a ton, though. Defensively, I mean, they weren't perfect at all. Probably give them minus. That's all I got there, guys. Time for the Charles and 49.
Well, say goodbye to 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, J.J. Watt. Cooper back to Blau. Deep downfield for Green. And he catches it. A.J. Green will take it all the way into the end zone. He's got a blocker. He's headed for the end zone. And Christian McCaffrey has a 49er touchdown. Isaiah Simmons will bring down Brock Purdy. Tip is more in favor of the home team. Blau floats one and a mix-up, and there it is, a big defensive play. The 49ers with a takeaway. Mitchell has it, bouncing into the end zone, and that's a 49er touchdown. Corey Clement straight ahead, and he is in for a Cardinal touchdown. 2nd and goal. Purdy, end zone throw. Oh, a fingertip catch.
Once we split them out.
Quick dump off to Elijah Mitchell, who has the touchdown run. Mitchell down the sideline. He cuts back. 7-yard run down to the 6. Mitchell for the end zone and in for another 49er touchdown. And goes deep for Hollywood Brown, and it's intercepted. A juggling pick for Deshaun Gibson, his second of the day.
It's the reason him being out that Ben Niemann's in today.
Ball's out. He goes down. 49ers pointing. We'll wait for the official. See if Mason gets his chance. Fake to him. Where he throws. End zone. Catch. He holds on. And that is
Russell Wilson this season and all the injuries we've seen.
There's another interception thrown.
In J.J. Watt's last game, the 49ers take care of business against the Cardinals. 38-13 win for them. The Cardinals lose their 7th straight down the season. 49ers win their 10th straight down the regular season. David Blau was pretty friggin' awful other than the first throw he had of the game. Trace McSorley was not any better. They couldn't run the ball very efficiently, or just run it efficiently. It's just like, really just at all. Like, any consistency was not there. Adrian, of course, had the touchdown. Really, that's about it, though. Defensively, I did like Isaiah Simmons. He had a sack and 5 tackles. J.J. Watt also, of course, 2 sacks in his final game. Cheers to a great retirement. Of course, Cameron Thomas also had a sack. Defensively, honorable game. Just kind of like their offense didn't do a lot after that first play. For the 49ers, Brock 15 of 20, 178 and 3 touchdowns. Did what he was supposed to. Did was a little, I don't know, maybe a couple times he's getting out to the pocket, but I like him from that. Elijah Mitchell will be a huge guy for them in the playoffs. He's a tank. Christian McCaffrey took the ease off and had a pretty good game. Of course, he'd be a threat in the receiving game with that touchdown. And George Kittle also had 2 through the air. One of them was kind of the easiest touchdown ever, and the other was actually a nice play. Fred Warner had 6 tackles as was expected. Demetrius Leador also had 6 tackles. 2 sacks for Jordan. 1 sack for Jordan Willis, 1 for Nick Bosa. They got a lot of pressure. Of course, Deshaun Gibson had 2 interceptions. George Odom had 1. Defensively, got back to what you're used to seeing for them. Big plays were definitely a big factor in this one. That's why a lot of yards for the Cardinals. And, of course, 4-0 turnovers. Kind of really all I got to say for this one. Cardinals offense don't get shut out. And, I mean, they didn't get shut out. So I will give them a minus. Defensively, they did force Brock out to the number, but he made plays. And Juwan Jennings didn't really throw it to him for that reason, because again, Cardinals definitely run the scouting report on that first drive. But honestly, offensively, defensively, they kind of just lost the momentum. I'll have to give them 3 minuses. I mean, the Cardinals actually didn't play one of their worst games. Offensively, I'll give them 3 minuses, not thinking about it, but the Cardinals were going to get blown out either way, unless they played their A game, which they didn't. Time for the 49ers. And what I like what I saw for this 49ers offense, they ran the ball really well, and Brock did not turn it over, which is really good. Offensively, overall, I will give them a 4 pluses. Defensively, they definitely did get momentum. I don't think they didn't give them under 10 points, but they were good. So offensively, I will give them 4 pluses. Solid game by the 49ers, definitely serviceable. Time for you could argue, was the best game of the day. Rams Seahawks. Here we go.
To Seattle, Washington, where Week 18 has major stakes for the home team. The Seattle Seahawks know what's on the line. They clinched the playoffs with a win. Off the play fake. Good protection, and it's intercepted by Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey with a pick down the sideline and out of bounds. To hold. And the Rams on the board first. Myers from 37 to tie this one up. And Myers just sneaks it in. 6. And the kick is good. And the Seattle Seahawks boom to the edge, and Akers down the sideline. Cam Akers lowers the shoulder into Quandre Diggs. 45 yards for Matt Gay. And the 100th made. Motioning at the top of your screen. Smith looking that way. Follows, and it's intercepted and then dropped.
Ball innocently to the ground if somebody drops it.
Little end around. It's Atwell to the edge. Atwell to the end zone. Kenneth Walker 15 yards. Gets Seattle a first down.
2 times in a row they've lined up with him offset.
Smith looking for the end zone and walking. And he drops it in. Hold down from Riley Dixon, and Gay splits the uprights.
Started yapping at each other again.
Off the play fake. Smith looking. And it's the second pick of the day for Jalen Ramsey. 22-yard try is good. Step up and run. Make a beeline for the sideline. Switch will. And Gino showing the speed. And then a big pop by Ramsey. Snap is down. The kick is on the way. And it is off the upright. It is off the right upright. Mayfield. He's got Van Jefferson open. And it's intercepted
And from Seattle yesterday, the Seahawks kept their playoff hopes alive with that 19-16 overtime win against the Rams. Offensively, they were pure dog crap other than one touchdown drive. But their defense definitely stepped up. Baker, not great day. He just was not good. They ran the ball well, though, I'll say that. Brandon Powell also had a nice run. Of course, Tutu Atwell did have a touchdown run. Van Jefferson, one big play. Offensively, their run game was good. The pass game was definitely a mixed bag, though. Defensively, Bobby Wagner, 7 tackles. Quentin Lake kind of picked 6, but he dropped it. Did have a sack. Joe Ramsey, by far, his best game of the season. If you played like that the whole year, the Rams would not have gone 5-12. I'd just say that. Probably 6-11 or 7-10, but whatever. Leonard Floyd or Michael Hoyt did have both had sacks. I mean, pretty decent game, I guess so. Seahawks, Gino, other than that touchdown he threw, was not great, but hey, they won. Kenneth Walker, not very efficient, but definitely had a brutal pounding. Tyler Lockett really actually struggled to get open other than that touchdown. He didn't even get much separation at all on that one. Kobe Ferguson had one big play. DK, he got himself his butt kicked by Jalen Ramsey. I'll just say that. Defensively now, I mean, yeah, okay game. They played really well. Quandre Diggs forced the clinching interception on that underthrow by Baker. I will say this, they left a lot of receivers open, but since Baker had an off game, or just not a good game, they kind of got bailed out there, but they were pretty good overall. Jason Myers, of course, shanked the go-ahead field goal, game winner, and then he hit the game winner. He went 4 or 5. The line was 37, so yeah, they didn't really kick any deep ones as well. Seahawks, 402 yards, not really that many, but whatever. 1 to 2 turnover ratio, they had the ball a lot longer as well. No, not really, but whatever. 5-3 sacks was not good for the Rams. Baker did take a couple of those, though. The third down efficiency was pretty atrocious as well. Let's get ready to keys game grades for both these teams. For this Rams offense, Baker did not have a good game at all, so offensively, I have to give them 3 minuses. It did not help there, but they did have a decent running game. Rams defense forced Gino to get the ball to try like underneath as he's hurt. They did. He didn't do a lot there. Of course, he got that one bomb, kind of hurt them there. Honestly, defensively, though, they did their job. I definitely give them a plus. Time for the Seahawks. Trust me, this is one of the worst games of the Seahawks offense this year, but Abraham Lucas did do a good job creating big holes. He was not good at all in pass protection, but they pulled it together. I will give them an underscore. Defensively, they did force Baker to throw a lot of intermediate outs. He was not comfortable on those. With a lot of pressure as well. Defensively, though, I will have to give them 5 pluses. They're the reason they're in the playoffs right now, at least after this game. Of course, we're going to get to Sunday nighter later, but that's what I got there, guys. Time for the Eagles. They win. They clinch the NFC.
Week 18 of the NFL on CBS. We welcome you to Philadelphia. 2 playoff teams going head-to-head today. The Giants and the Eagles to wrap up the regular season. It's good. Philadelphia hooks a pass downfield, coming back for it. A.J. Brown. The timing worked. Drive. Eagles are threatening here. Boston Scott in. The blast. Scott won't go down. The fake. Gillen in trouble. And the Scottish hammer gets nailed. 61, so he's got plenty of leg. He drives this one. Snapping Kern, the holder. 39-yarder, he drills it. Elliott, it's dead solid, perfect. Obviously that drew the ire of Dable. And a field goal is good. Catch made. Cager falls forward and has enough.
I'm thinking 2 plays if I'm the Giants.
Again, it's Webb. Right up the middle, Webb! Into the end zone! 10, chip shot for Jake Elliott. And he knocks it through. Going to take a shot to the end zone. Oh, what a grab! Kenny Golladay, touchdown, Giants!
And from Philly, the Eagles did not win pretty, but they got it done. 22-16 over the Giants. Of course, the Giants had Davis Webb start. I mean, first half, he was pretty god-awful, but after that, he actually looked decent. Of course, he had a nice touchdown run. They ran the ball well, which is kind of surprising, but kind of in score burst as well. Kenny Golladay caught a touchdown. It was really his only good play ever as a Giant. Yeah. Lawrence Cager, 6 for 8 for 69. I had a feeling he was going to have a good game. Nick Vannett was good at blocking as well. Defensively, Darius Williams had 10 tackles. He was really the only guy in the defense really making any plays. No, I'm joking. They had a really good day. Gerard Davis had half a sack. Michael McFadden also had a sack. Dave Bell had an interception. Nick McLeod had 1.5. Of course, Dave Bell was at the end of the half. Graham Gano had a field goal. Offensively, the running game was decent, but, I mean, They were kind of pedestrian with Jalen Hurts. I kind of expected that he's going to let it go next week, but this week they kind of kept him under it first. 9 rushes for 13 yards. A lot of it was slides. Didn't take any hits at all. I like what I saw there, but yeah, offensively they were not great. Of course, one of Jalen Hurts' worst game of the year, probably his worst, but whatever. Defensively, Kaiser White had a sack, my bad, 9 tackles. TJ Edwards also had a sack, 9 tackles, and obviously Zach McPherson also had a sack as well. Defensively, okay game. Yeah, they probably should give up 16 points, but it did help that Jake Elliott hit 5 field goals. For the stats, Eagles 342 yards. I mean, they were decent offensively, but again, they weren't anything special. They didn't have the ball that long either. But again, 2 to 3 sacks didn't help as well. They didn't punt a lot though. They got getting 5 field goals. If they can be better in the red zone next week, they definitely will have a really in the playoffs. They definitely have a really good shot. Again, clinch number 1 seed. Time the keys to get ready for both these. So with the Giants offense just not really doing anything, I'll just give them an underscore. I mean, yeah. Defensively, though, they did do a good job, even with their backups. Honestly, defensively, held them to the field goals. I will give them 2 pluses. So I got their guys, some of the Eagles. I like that their offense is able to move the football. They got to score in the red zone, though. I have to give them an underscore for that. But Eagles offense, yeah, they did score, just not in the red zone. So that's what I got there. I have to give them an underscore. Eagles defense, don't sell. They did kind of sell at points in this game. Pulled it together, though, and they were able to win. Pretty boring game overall, though. Defensively, I will give them an underscore. The Eagles are playing meh. Okay, that's all I got there, guys. Time for the Cowboys Commanders.
Decided to receive, and here we go. America's Game of the Week. Good to have you aboard as Turpin. Look at Antsy. We'll take it out. Devontae Turpin. First time going over the middle has McLaurin racing in for the end zone and a score. Here's Turpin, and he fumbles the ball. And it's loose, and Washington looks like they have it. So now it'll be Joey Sly for a field goal. 31 yards on the try. And the kick is shanked. End zone intercepted. Malik Hooker right there. And the turnover for that all the way untouched. 4-man rush. Prescott. That one might be a pick 6. It will be. Touchdown Washington. Prescott firing, and it's caught for the touchdown. C.D. Lamb. Option Howe. Foot in the ground. Nice cut. Howe is in. Touchdown Washington. Here's Howe to throw it. Loading up. Going deep. And he's got a man. It is caught by McLaurin. He's got missed 2 previously. Washington adds to their lead for sustained success. Sly with a 22-yard field goal, and Washington extends to a.
And in Washington yesterday, the Commanders blow out the Cowboys 26-6. Dak was god-awful. Like, yeah. I'm not going to stress over it, though, because, again, it was one game. They're going to lose to the Bucs, though. I'll just say that. They didn't run the ball well, though, either. Their offense was pure, yeah, S-H-I-T. They were really bad. C. Lamb also 552 and a touchdown. Ozo Digizua, yeah, he had 6 tackles in the sack. Kind of opened up some big holes, though. Sam Williams also had a sack, and Malik Hooker had an interception. Yeah, their defense was not good, but their offense was terrible. Just awful. 10 punts as well. For the Commanders, Sam Howell, 11 of 19, 169, touchdown and interception. Kind of a rookie type of game, but you won the game. He also had a touchdown run. Jared Patterson had a nice game. They didn't really run the ball with anyone else. Probably just let everyone else sit out. But yeah, Jared McLaurin did have a touchdown on 1 bomb of catches. Well, Jahan Dotson, he had 2 catches for like 37 yards underneath catch as well. Defensively, I mean, all the guys just contributed. Of course, Kendall Ford with the pick 6, outscoring that offense of the Commanders. And Anthony Obama also had a sack. They just didn't give up really anything in the run game. Really helped him out there. Joey Sly also missed 2 field goals. Didn't really matter at the end. My bad. But, 2-to-1 turnover ratio. They had the ball a lot longer. Did help them there. They just played an overall just a straight up football game and just pure football. That's how they won this one. It was an old fashioned grinder, and they were able to get it done. Yeah, this Cowboys offense got outscored by Kendall Ford. Kind of just tells you what type of game they had. Defensively, you know, I have to give them 8. For defensively, I mean, they did force Sam Howell to make reads while leading on the O-line, but he did make the reads and he did lead on the O-line. So defensively, honestly, didn't even play that bad. They were at a lot of bad fields. I'll have to give them 2 minuses, though. Time for the Commanders. And for this Commanders offense, they did run the ball pretty well. Play action targets for Kerry McLaurin, absolutely. Offensively, 3 pluses. Nothing to complain about. Defensively, unlike last game, forced a turnover. They did. Big turnover. They had the momentum the whole game. They didn't let off at all. Really the reason they won. 6 pluses. Now let's get to the Sunday night game. It is win or go home for the Packers. Did they win? Well, let's see.
The 271st and final game of this NFL regular season. No better place for it. Welcome to Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and a must-win for the Green Bay Packers. And their MVP quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, tonight taking on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. It's Week 18 of Sunday Night Football. 49. Play action Rodgers, looking deep, taking a shot downfield for Alan Lazard. Ooh, cannot bring it in. And a flag. Snap scooped nicely by Pat O'Donnell, the veteran punter who holds. They are going to go for it. It's Lazard, and he's stopped. Knocks it through to tie the game. So the gamble by LaFleur and the Packers to go for it on fourth and go quick here as the play clock runs down from 49 yards on a cold night. Crosby. Just good enough. Crosby tries to eke out every yard of it, and he makes the field goal. Batchley missed it, left. Dillon inside, got it, first down.
Quarterback and Frank.
From the 32, Aaron Jones in the flat got a good block downfield from Teddy, but lost the football, and it is recovered by the Lions. Well, here's the live field goal. Batchley knocks it through. And it's 9-6 with a 33-yarder. High, is it long enough? Hit the crossbar again. This week it doesn't go in. Goff out of the pocket, taking a shot downfield, and free is Raymond. Raymond caught it. First and goal, Williams to the right, to the end zone, to the lead. Detroit Lions touchdown. Aguara came back to block Hutchinson. Rodgers deep ball for Christian Watson. Down the sideline. Watson, did he bring it in? A flag is down and he caught it anyway. 13, Rodgers faking. Throwing, back in the end zone, Lazard! Touchdown! Goff gonna throw for it. And going to get the first down with DJ. Before, it's Williams straight ahead to the goal line. It's a big pile push as he is. Here's a blitz. Can Rodgers beat it? Big ball downfield, and it is intercepted by Kirby Joseph. The Lions have thrown in a couple of spots here you'd expect them to run. They do against St. Brown, who pitches it back to Swift, who's on the run. Swift inside the 20. He's down to a snap. And Goff is looking to throw, and he throws it. It's caught for the first down by DJ Chark. And you can hear them from all the way in Seattle.
I mean, what happened, Packers? What happened? Yeah. But for the Packers, you could literally just say, Aaron Rodgers sucked. And you wouldn't be wrong. Lions knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. They also get a second division. First winning record since 2017. They probably should have made the playoffs, but it's kind of sad they didn't. Of course, we'll get to the playoff rankings after this. 20-16 win, though, for them. Great game for them. Jared Goff just didn't screw up. There's really nothing else to say there. Jamal Williams, 16 for 72, 2 touchdowns, was good. DeAndre Swift also pretty serviceable. Receiving game, a lot of creativity. They didn't really get much in terms of the deep ball at all, but when they did, they definitely took advantage. Of course, Khalif Raymond had that 43-yard bomb. As well, Mike Hughes had 5 tackles, Jared Jacobs had 5 tackles, Kirby Joseph 5 tackles, interception. I would definitely say he owns Aaron Rodgers right now. Maybe not in the future part of his career, but definitely now. Aiden Hutchinson also with 2 sacks. They were just straight up more physical up front, kind of the reason they won. They actually also missed a field goal, but don't think it mattered in the end. For the Packers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 17 of 23, 27 by 205, touchdown interception. He was not good at the end of the game, but overall, he kind of had a decent part. But yeah, at the end, you got to be better there. You're supposed to be the best quarterback. Most talented quarterback ever. Prove it. He did not. They didn't run the ball well either, though. It was a lot of just, like, finesse crap. You can't do that. You got to actually run down their throat. Of course, Aaron Jones, not one of his better games, had a fumble as well. Christian Watson caught that bomb as well. And, of course, Allen Robinson did have a touchdown. Offensively, I mean, kind of a mixed bag. Romeo Dobbs was pretty darn awful, but in his defense, he got double-teamed like 4 times. Devontae White had a sack. Darnell Savage, 7 tackles. Quay Walker, 7 tackles. They didn't come through at the end. Honestly, though, I didn't expect them to because, again, their defense is young, and they're not supposed to be the strength of this football team at the end of the day. Stats. Yeah, the Lions definitely had more yardage. It felt like it as well. And, of course, they didn't have the ball as long. That's a surprise. There's 0-2 turnover ratio, 1-2 sacks as well. Both teams were pretty even on third down. It was, again, a really even football game. But the fact that the Lions came through at the end of the game really was the reason they won. And we're not talking this Lions offense was running the ball really well. They were able to run the ball pretty well, and they did spoil the Packers' season. Offensively, 5 pluses. No, I'll be honest, 4. They did struggle to move the ball once they got to the red zone, but again, they came through in the end of the game. 4 pluses. Defensively, they did not get burned by A.J. Dillon. No outside Jones with BS with Aaron Jones. Yup. Defensively, again, just more physical. I'll give them 5 pluses. Great game by the Lions. Let's talk about the Packers, who of course got their season ended. For the Packers offense, win the possession battle by at least 7 minutes. They didn't win it by 7 minutes at all. They actually had the ball longer, though. And used cold. Yup, they did. But here's the problem. They did not run the ball the way I expected them. And again, Aaron Rodgers, that was just not the throw I'd expect. He should have put more on it, but whatever. Offensively, that was disappointing. 4 minuses. Defensively, though, they just could not come through in the end of the game. You gotta expect that. And I didn't expect them to, but they kind of had to at the end. Really just a tough situation for them. I have to give them 4 minuses. I have to give them 3 minuses. You come through there, you probably give your team a shot, but it's just tough loss to the Packers. They are D-O-N-E. Time for the playoff picture. Let's look at all the teams after Week 18. Of course, all these stats I got to go through. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. 2022 NFL regular season is over. Let's get right to it. And let's first talk about the draft order. Here we go. This is the end of the video, just so you know. Bears 3 and 14. They've got the number 1 pick. Yup. The Pride take Jalen Carter. Texans number 2. Bryce Young. 3. I don't know. Cardinals. Who the heck knows? So literally, I have no idea. Just drawing a blank in my mind. It's not gonna be quarterback, obviously. So I'll talk about that later. Colts probably C.J. Stroud. Rams don't have that pick. That's gonna be the Lions, of course. Broncos, same thing. They got the Seahawks have that pick. Of course, then we got the Falcons, Raiders, Saints, Browns, Panthers, Titans, Packers, Jets, Commanders. I don't think this is how they go. This is just my record. So, yeah, whatever. This is the record-wise. We have these teams at the number 1 pick, blah, blah, blah. We keep going up. This is kind of the draft order. Of course, Patriots, Lions, and then the Steelers as well. And now we go to the playoff picture. So, Chargers, Jags, first game. Not going to get any of the game info. Bengals, Ravens, Bills, Dolphins, Bucs, Cowboys, Vikings, Giants, 49ers, Seahawks. Those are your playoff matchups. Of course, the Eagles and the Chiefs are the number 1 seed. The lowest ranked team coming out of the wild card round will play the Chiefs. Of course, the lowest, then the other 2 teams, home, the middle team, the higher middle team will play at home, and then of course the lower middle team will be there. And of course, then there, blah blah blah. Super Bowl same time for the NFC. And obviously, I will say this though, tomorrow will be our Week 18 Power Rankings final one with every single team. Then I'll do my predictions probably on Wednesday. I really don't know. Probably come out like Thursday or something. Then we got some other cool videos before the keys to the game. That's all right for you guys though. I'm probably gonna do Power Rankings come out on Wednesday. We'll think about that. That's all right for you guys though. Hope you guys enjoyed the Week 18 NFL Sunday recap. It's it for this regular season. Let's get right to the playoffs. 2023 NFL playoffs are almost here. Let's go. See you in the next one though. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Snow and freezing cold. Weather conditions as the undefeated Rams take on the Denver Nuggets, coming right up.